Come
Where's
on.
that big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Ooh.
Ooh-wee.
What a day, dog.
What a day.
What a
Another day in Cowboy land.
Man.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know how we ain't used to this now.
I'm
telling
used
you,
to
it's
it.
the Cowboys way.
I'm used to it.
Hashtag
Cowboys way.
Cowboys way.
Yeah.
It's the Cowboys way.
Like,
We got to get used to it.
Foolishness.
we not even, look, nobody real life mad. Like, that's for real. You mad?
Right.
I'm not. Like, hey, this how they do things.
I
bro.
ain't even mad. This the Cowboys way.
This what they do.
This is how we do.
You know. You know, the one thing I'm happy about,
What's that?
I'm happy that this was so bad that now you can't call us conspiracy theorists. Yeah, you because see that's what they used to say about the YouTubers. Oh, here y'all go. Here y'all go. Well, nah, they be.
Here y'all go. Y'all bored. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about, so make up stuff.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
see, we've been telling y'all, bro, that front office, man, they get in their own way. Y'all see it now. Shoot.
Yep.
Some don't though. Some still don't, sadly. Yeah, man, just what it is. But yeah, man, can't wait. I know y'all got a lot to say.
Man, hello.
Hey, you know,
I know y'all got to say.
oh, I got something to say. Yeah, I definitely do.
I know you do. Awesome. Cowboys.
Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all go ahead and smash that like button for your boy.
Smash, destroy that like button right now. Destroy it. Like, put your hand on it and bam, like the easy button.
Yeah, because a lot of people been saying they can't wait for this. They've been saying they can't wait for the final word. It's the right thing to do to come in the door, hit that like, man. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary.
Yeah, come in the door with it.
All
Hit that
Nation. Big Game James, Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Hit that like, subscribe, and share the button immediately.
The OC.
Immediately.
You know what? The thing is, we've been bringing this heat all off season. Though.
Off season. Bringing it. Fire. Yo got fire.
We don't stop. We
flame.
still giving y'all this.
Fire. Yo got
Yo
flame.
got flame. That's the best right there. Yo got flame.
Ooh, man.
Oh, they got all the little baby things in my feed. Ooh, y'all know it. Need some milk.
Man.
He needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
See, I ain't peep. Law be singing on the slide, man. I peep.
He needs some milk.
Law look like he can sing.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Look,
Law
one of
can
them
sing.
eyes
Law can blow.
Yeah, I be peeping
Oh,
Law.
Law
Law be
can blow.
low key. He be showing them pipes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Law
One
can
of them
blow.
Isley's.
Yeah.
He
He be doing that on the slide though.
Law-
He be like,
Law-
I be like, what is your performance?
See, Law one of them people that grew up singing in church, man. Law
Man, that's that
Law
old.
mama made him sing
You
in
know
church.
he's singing in church. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know his mama made him sing in the
They
church.
made him sing in church.
They promoted me to
Yeah.
deacon, man. I was a deacon in church. I was a
What?
deacon.
What?
Was a deacon. Ooh, you look like a deacon,
That's
bro.
awesome, Law. That's awesome.
That boy said
That's
he was
awesome,
a
Law. I'm
deacon.
proud of you, bro.
Dang, Law.
That's good, Law. That's good. That's good.
That boy good. That's good. That boy good.
Boy, good. Boy, good. He good.
Hey man, they already in the building, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Charge it to the game.
Come
Charge
on.
it to the game. We didn't charge it today, though.
Oh man.
Insufficient funds.
Ooh, it's about
Lord,
Charge it
loyalty.
today.
It's my favorite part. When it's about loyalty, man. I ain't feeling it.
I'm not
And that
feeling
opening-
this. I ain't feeling
That
this.
opening is dope.
Too legit.
Call it too legit.
Too legit.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Ooh, man, God dog. It's the final word.
It's the final word.
Man.
Word. Ooh-wee.
It is so much we could talk about.
There's a whole bunch.
But you know what we gonna talk about first.
You know we starting right now.
Say, it's obvious where we starting, bro. We gonna start with the top turnbuckle and the big homie. Let me set up the button, and then we go get this rolling. We coming out the gate with this stuff. Here we go. All right, so my boy Big Game James, you up first, big dog. You already know. Let me find my dog tweet. Hey, where's my boy?
Go to the tweet. Please show the tweet. Show all that tweet for all them, because that's how I'm feeling. Please show that tweet.
Man, I didn't put your tweet in the show. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the official page. No, I got you. I'm gonna get your tweet, big dog.
Okay.
Because you was going hard on that Twitter bird today, dog.
I was going hard.
You've been on that bird going crazy. Matter of fact, y'all just hold up. First of all, what's your thoughts in general? Because we ain't talked about nothing. We ain't talked about the Cooper.
Right.
We ain't talked about the Gallup.
Right.
We ain't talked. What's your thoughts, big dog?
Well, you know, me and you talked off air, and I did a show yesterday, and I said I can't sit there and bash these guys all the time. If I see good, I gotta say there was good. You feel me? So yesterday, they had brought back Tank in the fold. They restructured that contract, saved like 13, 14 million, gave him a guaranteed deal where he was happy. Cowboys got money where they were happy. They signed Michael Gallup, who they wanted. You feel me? I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna just say this right quick, and then we'll jump in. I'm not jumping up and down. I'm gonna keep it honestly. I wasn't jumping. You asked me yesterday, boss. He was like, "How you feel about that Tank signing?" I wasn't jumping up and down. I'm glad he's back in the fold because you got your defense together still. He's off the books as far as the money. You got money free. So I like that you brought another a stout defensive player that you needed. Michael Gallup. But to me, it's just the same old Cowboys. I'm not excited about things because you still haven't jumped out there and went and looked at anybody. You brought your own in. But I think the thing that frustrated me, and I'm going to leave it off at this, and this is why I call him. Am I allowed to say it on air, boss?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to say.
What you about to say, man?
Baby nuts.
Oh,
baby nuts.
Go, bro. Yeah, go.
All right, so this is
You can't handle the truth.
Come on.
So this is why I just call him Baby Nuts, and I'm going to let y'all kind of expand on the players, but this is the reason why I call him Baby Nuts. Because there was a tweet, and I retweeted it. One of the ladies who does Dallas-Fort Worth, she's real deep in, I can't remember her name, but she made a tweet, and I retweeted it. And she was like, why is all these Cowboys fans surprised? Stephen Jones told y'all he was going to do this, and it started with Brandon Carr. She brought that up. It started with Brandon Carr. After that, y'all know how the Cowboys way is. And I was like, yes, because that's where the baby nuts came. Because after that deal, everybody kind of tried to ridicule him. Oh, you didn't get the value, blah, blah, blah. Ever since that deal, them nuts went up in the stomach, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. And here's the thing why I call him that is because if he don't jump out there, right, and go get a free agent that's a big name and spend a lot of money, guess what? He's safe. There's nothing that's going to happen. Nobody's going to ridicule him. That's playing it safe. These other owners are jumping out there like, look, I get it, draft picks, this and that, but we're trying to win this year right now. So guess what? If I got to get rid of this first or second right here for this top-notch player because I'm trying to get to the Super Bowl, we're going to do it. Yes, it's a risk. You don't know if it's going to happen. You're taking that big risk to do it. But when you're trying to be aggressive and go all in and say, hey, we'll worry about that next year, we're trying to get it this year. You see these teams doing it, and a lot of them that are doing it, it seems like it's working. Like when these teams go all in, they get close, or they get near the chip, or they go to the chip. We just saw it with the Rams. You get what I'm saying? But with Stephen Jones, he won't get the ridicule, right? Because he's never jumping out there and is never going to go out there and make a risk. So there's never going to be any flack on him. Y'all feel me? Because he's not jumping out there, so he's not going to look bad. Because it's like, well, I didn't spend a lot of money. We didn't kill our team. We didn't do all this. So it makes him safe, dog. It makes him free from, but it's almost kind of keeps the bullets away from him. You sign your own. If it doesn't happen, well, we're trying to sign our own. We're trying to keep our team together. You get what I'm saying? It keeps him from ever really catching a lot of the flack because he ain't jump out there and do that. I think he don't want that. He don't want anybody saying anything about him because he wants to look so daggone good as being the capologist. He don't want to hear anybody saying anything about him, so he's always going to work that cap just right. So Dallas will always stay competitive. They will stay competitive. They will stay in the limelight. But are they ever going to get over the hump? You see these other teams saying, we got a good team too, like the Dallas Cowboys, but we may need a couple players to get over the hump. So we're going to go ahead and take that chance. Dallas won't do that. And one last thing. There's nobody there to push the Joneses. There's no rush. There's no pressure because nobody's pressuring the Joneses. Nobody's pressuring Steven. Nobody's pressuring Jerry. There is no pressure for them to say, where's the sense of urgency? Is there a sense of urgency in Dallas? I don't believe so.
Man, you're right.
I do not believe there's a sense of urgency in Dallas, and there's nobody to push those guys to make it a sense of urgency. And as long as they're winning, and as long as that money is still coming in, let's be honest. What are they really mad that they ain't in the championship? Are they really mad they ain't in the Super Bowl?
Man, come
That's
on
what
with
I
it.
question. I question, are y'all really mad? You heard Jerry. He was livid. I heard Jerry a month ago saying he was livid and nothing happened. You feel me? So I don't believe them lies no more, bro. So that's just where I'm coming from. Y'all just want to stay competitive, in my opinion. Y'all want to stay competitive, but y'all not taking the next steps to get over the hump. And what I get pissed off at, you guys, is you get these Dallas fans excited. That's what I get mad at. You see all these Dallas fans getting excited with Von Miller. As soon as they dropped the ball with Randy or whatever it happened, could have been on both parties, what immediately came up after that? Von Miller, distraction. Get you away from Randy. Get you away from hating Steven. Oh, we might get Von Miller. Now you ain't talking about him. It's quick. It's real quick how they jump right in that media to do damage control to make it look like it wasn't our fault, but we're going to go get Von Miller. Okay, whatever, dog.
Man, you spitting, man. You spitting. Hey, here's the reality of it, man. The language that was in the contract is common language within all of the contracts. We get that. I don't want you guys to miss the meat worrying about the potatoes. If Randy Gregory wanted to stay here for the Cowboys and play and have blood, sweat, and tears pouring out of his veins for the Cowboys, guess what? He would be here for the Cowboys. The reality of it is that he can see what happened to Cooper. He can see what things were leaked out about his mental health and about what's going on with the organization and things like that and beyond. And he's tired and he's fed up with it. That was one of the things. Sometimes it's the smallest things, any little angle way that you can utilize and use to get out of a situation, you use that. We've been down this road before, Cowboy Nation. And on top of that, I just want people to understand, whatever the other reporter said on the YouTube, this is just common law. This is common rules. This is common CBA agreement. So it wasn't nothing that somebody pulled from 2018 out of a docket to show you guys what was in the language of the contract, what was facts or not. The reality of it is this is the truth right here. These players know each other. These players live with each other. These players practice in blood, sweat, and tears with each other. So yes, if it's a way that they can get back at somebody from a language or standpoint of a contract, yes, that is the truth. Everything else was fallacy. I digress.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm going to flip the script a little bit. Here's the thing about this whole Randy Gregory situation. He had 6.5 sacks this year, a contract year. He had 3.5, I believe, 4 sacks in 2020. This guy has always been a high talent guy, and it's never matched his productivity. So at the end of the day, he would have been a good keep for the right price. But the good thing about this whole situation is this. The Cowboys did not overpay for him because he's not here, okay? Right. And number two, it gives the Cowboys more flexibility to potentially get other options, which now we can say is a need. because we do not have Randy Gregory in the building. We re-signed Tank Lawrence, who has been injury prone. He's not been a high sack productive guy. We have Micah Parsons, who is a unicorn, right? That's not your everyday draft pick. He's a unicorn, all right? And I want to put that out there because people have unrealistic expectations of performance. So now we have a need, right? We have to either go in the draft, and I would say both. Draft someone that can rush the passer. And we need to pick up a certified guy that has productivity in the NFL. Not a guy that has talent in the high ceiling. Not a guy that has low tread. Not a guy that looks like Tarzan but plays like Jane. I'm talking about a guy that can come in here and that has proven productivity that can get you 10-plus sacks. That's what the Cowboys need. So I'm okay with it at the end of the day. They fumbled it, but at the end of the day, those are two positives.
Yeah, that's some good positives. I want to kind of get to what happened. All right. So,
bring it out.
Ooh, wait. So it started off so good. It started off great. Peter Schaefer said numerous teams saw a different side of Randy Gregory during contact talks. He meant contract. He could have taken a larger deal elsewhere, but elected to stay with Dallas. 5 years, $70 million, $28 million guaranteed. And then they also had the other propaganda photo op stuff going out there. Well, Randy Gregory essentially took less to stay with the Cowboys. Randy says what Jerry Jones has done for him in the past played a huge part in the decision. And within 30 freaking minutes.
Wait until tonight.
Randy Gregory backed out.
If you think you're lonely now.
But see, I want to get into the details, dog. I don't want to deal with no speculation. To the point, I'm going to put on these clear views again. Oh, man, because this is real. So Randy Gregory backs out a big money deal with the Cowboys, agrees to terms with the Broncos. All right. So if we get into it, I'm going to go right to it. Hold on, hurry, let me find it. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, here it is. I'm going to go right to the because, all right? Because we already left off. Gregory has pivoted and will instead join the Denver Broncos, the front runner to try to pry him away from the Cowboys, as reported by CBS Sports on Monday. Turning away from a 5-year deal in Dallas that was worth upward of $70 million with $28 million guaranteed. It's expected the Broncos deal will be a larger one than the Cowboys offer, but money isn't why Gregory and his agent pulled a U-turn. Now, this is the key part. Here's the key part. He said it's because of the Cowboys front office and a last-minute attempt to change the terms of what was already agreed upon. See, that's the key part right there. See, that's the key part that people want to leave out. See, it was already some work done.
Already.
Yeah, it was already some work done. He said, per the same source, Gregory was willing to accept less to remain in Dallas, but the team's front office then, keyword, then revisited the deal and hoped to insert language that was neither previously agreed upon nor deemed palatable by Gregory's count. As such, the Cowboys have now lost another 94 to the Broncos. The first being DeMarcus Ware. Let's camp out and talk about that real quick.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this before you go into more details of this.
Because I got more details. Yes, I do.
The first thing that people try to do to make the landing ground softer is to say, yeah, it's the agent fault. Like the agent is some fool, right?
Yeah.
That's one way to cover ground and to save space.
Yep.
This agent, believe it or not, represented. Let me tell you some of the notable names that this agent represented. He had Sue, Barry Sanders, Joe Thomas, Willie Rolfe. Y'all remember him? Steve Atwater. He's also represented Loomis Brown, Russell Okung, Mark Jackson, Chad Brown, Trayvon Price. Let me just pull up some names of current that he actually represented as his particular Joe Mixon. So this guy is no fool. But what people would like to say is, oh, it's the agent fault.
Yeah.
It's the agent that all of a sudden, as a legal lawyer, as an analyst too, don't know how to draw up and write up contracts. And y'all would take that bevy of information and go out there and spit the nonsense that somebody would go out there and say, oh, it's the agent fault. No, it's the Jones family fault. You think that the Jones family know more than this agent as it relates to calculating and handling procedures with contracts? If you think that is true and accurate, I got land on the moon for sale.
Oh, man. Hey.
Can I read something right quick?
Yes, please.
I want to read something right quick. This is what the agent was talking about. You bouncing off you, boss. This is what I'm just reading this little bit of a negotiation what it was talking about. It says Adam Pacifica, if I'm saying it right, I might say it wrong. The Cowboys cap specialist and contract negotiator explained to Schaefer that the clause was included because Stephen Jones had previously told Schaefer that any contract offered to Gregory would contain certain standard forfeiture language. Schaefer tells PFT that none of those proposals mentioned that language and that Stephen Jones previously declined to engage in negotiations with Schaefer, instead directing Schaefer to deal with that dude Adam. At the end of it all, Gregory was upset. Given his history of under the substance abuse policy, Gregory thought the Cowboys were trying to pull a fast one by potentially setting him up for wiping out guarantees in event of a mere fine. Ultimately, the Cowboys had a chance to remove the language. They didn't. The Broncos didn't insist on the similar language, and Gregory will sign with the Broncos.
That's the key.
Big
right there. That's the
fact.
key. And see, let's go through this. We go through this from a lot of different angles. Because, see, what's happening is there's some savings of face. And we go really decipher through that. Because I got some here as well. Okay, before I show Ed Warner, I gotta talk about, in my opinion, how to properly interpret tea leaves. You gotta be very careful of the people that are being fed leads by the Joneses.
Get them.
Because a lot of their people are just like those baby birds. They looking for the exclusive leads to come directly from Steven and Jerry, but also it puts them in a position sometimes to where they also owe Jerry and them favors. So you have to be very careful who you get your information from. That's why I rock with the people like Ed. People that have no affiliation with the organization. They're just journalists. That's all they are. They're not a flagship organization. And listen, I'm not talking bad about the fan because Kevin Gray been keeping it real. And some of them guys been telling the truth.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
Straight up. So I want to tell y'all, be careful. Because it's some guys, they are on front office side to get their version of the story out. And you got to be able to decipher the tea leaves accurately. So I want to say that before I go to what Ed said. And then I'm going to kick it back off to my dogs. He said voiding a guarantee because a guy gets fined is not in any contract with any other team in the league. Basically saying that's a Dallas thing. When questioned, team said clause in every contract but Dak's contract. In other words, that's how we do it here. When Gregory learned of the language being inserted, see, that's the key word. It was inserted into the contract. He apparently said, look at this big F them. Ooh.
I mean,
Let's say it.
Shame.
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 Hey, boss cowboy,
Shame.
Big A James. If y'all watch the excerpt that I inserted to the final word a couple of last week, and the player was talking about his contract, his guaranteed money.
Oh, I got it.
Wiped away. Oh, you got it.
I think I got it.
Oh, it is all due to it could be something small.
Right.
And they use that against him.
Right.
So that they can say, hey, we can't give you this money now.
Right.
And you can bet your bottom dollar. Randy Gregory looking at this contract and he's seeing with his natural eyes what y'all did to some of the other players. I don't have to name the name. And he said, oh, hell no. F y'all. I'm up out of here.
Right. Hey, we got to talk about that. Before we talk about that, because, see, I got some tweets that came from some powerful people. That's referencing exactly what you said. But,
I am athlete, yo.
Before we get into that, did y'all have some thoughts on that OC and Big?
Go ahead, OC.
Man, look, here's the deal, man. I mean, the Cowboys insist on people kissing their ring. You know, and I said this on yesterday, man. They want you to kiss that ring to be down. And if it's not standard procedure, it shouldn't be in the contract. If it's not standard or common practice, it shouldn't be included in the contract. And furthermore, it was a drop ball on your side because that language should have been talked about up front.
Yep.
You don't talk about last second late, and I deal in contracts in my field of work, and you don't put in last second clauses on people when you have terms agreed upon in principle, which is exactly what they did.
That's
just a real quick way to piss somebody off. I mean, there's no other way to say it. You're just gonna piss somebody off.
You gonna piss
if you
them
do
off,
that,
right?
and then you're gonna get. You go get the reply that you got from Randy Gregory, which is a capital F and then you. You know what I'm saying? So this is the whole situation with that thing, man. I mean, hey, man, the Cowboys did it to themselves. And this whole fiasco about, passing down the organization to a son and things like that, you can do whatever you want as your team, but I don't agree with it, man. We're proving now to be bad, and I don't agree with the salary cap piece, too. I don't think we're good cap managers because we would not have gotten to the DeMarcus Lawrence contract initially. We would not have gotten to the Ezekiel Elliott contract initially, right? We went in with our skis over our head and got in too deep, and now we're in a massive deal of restructuring, right? And we should have never been in this situation had this been managed appropriately. So now you're showing that you're a bad talent evaluator, and then you're a bad judgment person, and then you're a bad cap manager, all in one. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Let me jump in real quick.
Get him.
See, like this comment, he said the Cowboys are not always right, but the same language was in his rookie contract.
Yeah, I'm hearing they're reading all this other stuff they heard earlier today. They don't even know.
But see, this is the deal.
But you don't insert it. I don't mean to insert.
Yeah, y'all do. Y'all do mean to cut me off. Y'all do mean to cut me off. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, boss, go ahead.
Okay, you sure? Because I ain't tripping.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so this is the deal. So what was attempted by the Joneses is actually a sales term. All right, because I did graduate from a sales program at the University of Houston. It's the #1 sales program in the country, so I'm very familiar with the tactics. We actually used to I had to take a class in negotiations, so I'm very familiar with this. This term is 2 terms for this. It's called a closing bomb, or some people would call it a table close. Those are the technical negotiated terms use, and that's where you already know when you go to the closing table that you're getting ready to switch it. And that's what happened. See, it's not even about the details of it was in his rookie contract. That doesn't matter. It was how it was done. That's what people not putting together. It was the how. It's not the what.
Yes.
Did I say it loud? Did I say it, big dog?
Look, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm telling people don't miss the meat worrying about the potatoes, but keep going, baby.
Oh, okay. I thought you was finna jump in off the top rope, big dog. So they tried to table close the man. That's what happened. They tried a closing bomb. And it's shady, bro, because if you look at the details, it talked about Jerry working with those agents late at night. So they already went through all the details, and Randy Gregory was not there. His representation was there, and they fine-tooth combed all the details as your representative's supposed to do. And then at the very last second, as he was already announcing, I'm officially going to take a pay cut to be with Dallas, he looked at it and said, wait. His agent said, whoa, pause, don't sign that. That's what happened. Don't sign that. And when they saw it and saw the blatant attempt at a table close, they was like, we out, because we can't trust you. So I want to talk about the repercussions of this, because there's some repercussions. I want to kind of bring up some of the repercussions, and I want to talk about that real quick. All right, with you boys. All right. So y'all check this out, because this is what I love. Look at this. He said that this is Kevin Gray, y'all. Yeah. This ain't no just this not YouTube conspiracy theory right here. This is an official partner with 105.3 The Fan, and this is what he said. Cowboys' willingness to pull shenanigans with Randy Gregory at the 11th hour is a bad look and a poor reflection of the front office and the way they can handle business. Gregory is well liked, and you don't think dudes around the league aren't paying attention to this? Ooh. And then check this one out. I got another one. We gonna talk about all of these. This is what Patrick said, and Kevin Gray co-signed it. Y'all check this out. Now I bet Twitter was on fire today. If you're not on Twitter, you better get on Twitter. Oh my God, Twitter. This is what Patrick No C Walker said. He said the damage control required after this one to soothe concerns of other free agents in-house and potentially incoming won't be easy, especially when coupled with the handling of Amari Cooper. What a disaster. And one day after a home run via DeMarcus Lawrence, back to work. Oh my God. Let me pause right there and get y'all input on this. Big, your mic working, big dog?
Yeah, I was just listening to y'all.
Okay, I saw you pick up that mic. What you got on that, bro? Because see, I think it's some repercussions, bro. And I'm glad they brought it up. Because if we would have brought it up, it would have been like, oh, here y'all go, final word. There been negative conspiracy theories.
Right. I mean, I just like this bouncing off of OC and all you guys. I think the whole thing is just kind of frustrating because the back and forth, we all understand that he's been there since 2015, and you heard how Jerry was upset because he had worked with them all that time. And I think I'm gonna be frustrated, number one, with a lot of the fans because they attacked Randy Gregory. That pissed me off.
That's real.
A lot of people attacked Randy Gregory, and it pissed me off. Like, oh well, he was smoking all the time. He was doing all this crazy stuff. They stood by him all those times and all that. Okay, I get that. But the man was smoking weed. He wasn't slapping females and robbing banks and beating up people. And they do have, it is in the CBA now, you are allowed to do that now, right? You are allowed to smoke?
Right.
So when people are putting down Randy like, oh, look what they did for you. Look what they did for you. This man, just like you would and I would, y'all would do the same daggone thing.
Yep.
This man said, I'm going to take less money to stay with y'all.
Yep.
Let me add this to the point there, Big Game James. You can smoke weed and it will not be a punishable as relates to losing games. However, if you get caught and it is in your system, you can still get fined. Let that sink in. But go with your point.
Well, so that's perfect. How
so you see where I'm going with it now, right?
Yeah.
They taking money with it. Yeah, I see your point.
So
they take money with it. Well, go ahead,
And
James.
when you look, I'm just saying, when you look at it from Randy's side, he's like, okay, now y'all gonna try to take money from me, and we've been going through the suspension. Think about it, you've been going through the suspensions with Randy for how long? Now all of a sudden you throw in language. Nah, you better not be smoking. We're gonna take that money. You know what I'm saying? So he like, well, Denver over here, they ain't tripping. So you know what? Thank you, but I'm gonna go over here. So here's my thing: organizations ain't loyal to players.
No, they not.
Organizations are not loyal to players. They'll cut you in a minute. I made a post that they're talking about, oh, we ain't, we want him here. He's going to be here for the long run. 5 hours later, they on Sports Center being traded, and the player said, I didn't even know I got traded. So the ownership don't be giving really a hell about the players.
Nope.
So I don't know why everybody's mad about Randy saying, well, I'm going to go over here, and they don't have this language in my contract. I'm getting a guaranteed more money. So guess what? Bye.
Yeah. And Big, I don't even think it was the details. I think it was the how it was done.
Yeah.
Which this is the big point that I'm saying.
And I'm taking a pay cut to stay with y'all.
And I'm taking a pay cut. I'm taking a pay cut, and you still try to pull a closing bomb on me. You still try to table close me. You still try to sneak some stuff on me, dog.
Well, let me say this because everybody. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that everybody's keep repeating the same language is in every one contract, but the language may be there in every one contract, but the repercussions doesn't equate the same. That is what they're saying. It's a given that these language are in the contract, but what you do after it happened is dealing with the team and the ownership and what they agreed upon. It can be in the contract, but it's how you're going to enforce it. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And I
let me say it like this real quick, and I got
again.
you, OC. I promise, because you've been waiting. This is the key. I got it highlighted so everybody can see this. He said Dallas, but the team's front office then revisited the deal and hoped to insert language that was neither previously agreed upon nor deemed palatable by Gregory's camp. It's the way it was done. That's the key. It's not the details. It's not, well, it was in all the other contracts. No, they worked all night on this. And then the day of, when it's time to sign, put it like this. If you go to a closing table and you getting ready to close on a home, and you said, I don't want an adjustable rate mortgage. I don't want my interest rates to change. That's key. If y'all put that in my paperwork, I'm not closing. And they say, yes, sir. We understand your terms. We're going to give you a fixed rate. Your interest rates won't change. And then you go to closing. And then you go check the paperwork and you see adjustable rate mortgage. You go sign it?
Nope.
No. You're going to be like, I told y'all not to put this in here. And it's going to affect your trust.
Trust. There it is.
Big trust.
Trust.
So what ended up happening in this situation, guys, that we haven't really talked about yet, is because Randy Gregory showed good faith and that he would take less to stay with the Cowboys, they presumed leverage.
Yes.
That's what they did.
Right.
They presumed leverage.
Right.
So they thought they could sneak it because at the end of the day, the Joneses are business sharks. They're contract sharks.
Well, say
right?
Steve.
So if you get,
I don't think Jerry like
if
that.
If it's blood in the water. No, I'm telling you. Look, I'm talking about the whole operation of it, right? I don't care what person you name. I'm saying at the end of the day, if you put some bloody fish in the water with a shark, you fist to get ate. Right. And so when you show weakness, they eat you. When you show strength, they pay you. They don't pay nice guys. They don't. And the reason why Ezekiel Elliott got his contract, because he showed, I'll stay in Cancun or whatever. I'm not showing up. Give me my money. All of a sudden, he gets paid. Dak Prescott got paid. He holds out and goes through all types of Hades to get his money, right? Zach Martin got his money when he didn't show up to a practice or two.
Yep.
Right?
Tank got his money when he used his shoulder as leverage.
Exactly. So what I'm saying, when you're dealing with a shark, you can show no weakness, and if you show weakness or loyalty, they presume leverage, and they got burned. That's what happened.
Yep. They presumed leverage that they didn't have. It was crazy. And they got greedy. Just say what it was. They got greedy. At the closing table, they already got way more because he was already way under. He was $5 million per year under other offers. And they was like, and we want this clause in there. He like,
I already took a pay cut. I'm already coming up less money, and y'all gonna hit that me with that. All right, I'm out.
I'm out.
Before you guys keep discrediting the agent, look up his resume. That's all I'm saying. Because I see so many people saying that there's a certain source, I'm not going to say his name, saying that person said that the agent is 100% at fault, basically, because the agent guided
Randy
Gregory.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that's the
narrative they want out there. They want
the narrative. It's the agent.
Can
fault.
Go ahead.
Can I say something? Let me say something. And I'm bouncing off the OC, and you know me and OC go hard with D-Law.
Yeah.
Ain't no diss.
Yeah.
But it's funny how I'm listening to all these people talking about, oh, we ain't need Randy Gregory. We can get another pass rusher, Von Miller. We don't know about Von Miller coming, so everybody talking about Von Miller here just because he gave some eyeballs on some tweets. No, he ain't here yet. Them was nothing but eyeballs. He ain't said one damn thing. So everybody getting all hyped about that, but they sitting there saying, oh, we can replace a passer. Randy Gregory was our best pass rusher on the team. Period. I don't know. I don't care what y'all tell me about D-Law. Yes, I get frustrated because it's like everybody was jumping up and down about D-Law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Thanks, D-Law. D-Law's back. But go back to me and OC said. Y'all want to diss Randy, and yes, he may not been a great run stopper, but he was a pass rusher, and his pass rushing helped Dallas. He was our best pass rusher. He could get to the quarterback. He wasn't a near miss or had 5 pressures in the game with no sacks. Randy was getting to the quarterback. That's not easy to find pass rushers. I don't know where y'all think y'all just find pass rushers fall off the trees. That's not true.
No, you don't. They don't.
Pass rushers just don't fall off the tree, dog. Y'all, just because you draft somebody, you don't know if that dude's going to come in and turn up. You get what I'm saying? So for y'all to sit there and say, oh, we can find another pass rusher, that's why they get paid so much money. That's why them DNs get paid so much money, because they rare. A lot of people ain't getting 20, 15 sacks and those type of things every year. So when you get a really good pass rusher, you got to be able to make that happen. And you're trying to keep that team together. You said you're trying to get over the hump. You're trying to sign your own. You can't let that one get away, right? Right? Because you're trying to sign your own. You ain't signed no other free agent out there yet, right? We signed, Dallas signed what? Noah Brown, Michael Gallup. Ain't nobody from the outside being brought in yet. So that's why, to me, I was frustrated, because you talking about signing your own, building through the draft, get a free agent here and there. Well, he was a big free agent that you needed to keep this defense to what you wanted to do, and you lost them. So to me, you're going against what you're saying. And pass rushers, I'm going to say that again, don't just fall off trees, dog. And we got D-Law, but bruh, what has D-Law done as far as sacks, game-changing plays? He was hurt last year again. He missed 10 games. So we're really trusting in somebody who's had 3 back surgeries, 2 broken foots, got hurt again last year, and everybody is happy? Yeah, that's good. But what happens if he break that foot again? Or that back start messing up?
Hey, and see, let me say one thing, and then I'm gonna play something that's epic.
Yeah.
I want y'all to hear this, what I'm getting ready to say. Y'all hear me out. This is what a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans, I don't think, understand. That there are repercussions from bad business dealings. And I'm talking about how you do business. So all we got to do is go rewind time and just think about it. When Cooper was waiting to get paid, Dak was waiting to get paid, and Zeke was waiting to get paid, what did they do? They paraded Jalen Smith out there in front of everybody and said, basically, this is the example of what you should be to take a team-friendly deal for the Cowboys, because they was telling everybody at that time, well, if you smart, you will take a pay cut, because being a Dallas Cowboy is just going to reward you in the long run. Do y'all remember that pitch they was giving? They was giving all three of those guys the same pitch. Take a little bit off, because being with Dallas, you get paid later on in life. So when they rolled it out, what they did with Jalen is they came out, they put his glasses company in the Star for a second. That thing is gone now. Yeah. So how do people supposed to watch you make promises don't come through, but then trust your promises? Let's talk about another one. So Amari Cooper got a better deal from the Washington Commanders. He actually walked away from it, big OC. He said, I want to be a Dallas Cowboy. This is a dream job. I'm going to leave millions with them to go play with you. So they put an out in his contract that in 2 years we will be where we are right now. Instead of just being quiet and then shopping him quietly, they leaked him to the public. They leaked all kind of stuff to the public. Oh, here's some film showing where he didn't make some blocks. And they were saying stuff like, man, you know, people in the front office. And it was coming through Bobby Belt. Bobby Belt was the main person leaking this stuff. He was the main leak. He was saying, yeah, people in the front office, they feel like he plays banged up. I'm going to ask y'all a question. I'm going to shut up. When has playing through your injuries been a negative thing? Huh? When? I thought guys supposed to get rewarded for that. For guys that say, I'm going to tough it out and I'm going to still put up 1,000-something yards. Even though I was hurt. But with Dallas, we just kind of tired of him dealing with injuries. So what we're going to do is we're going to sign a guy that had an ACL. Oh, okay. So y'all expect people like Randy Gregory to actually watch all of this happen and then trust them? There are repercussions behind bad business.
Right. Randy Gregory
now you
played
scaring me,
through
boss
injuries.
cowboy.
Yo, go ahead. My bad, OC. Go ahead.
Hold on, my boy leaked film. Hold on, somebody say leaked film. Yeah, leaked film. It came out through Mike Fisher. He came out and he said that some people leaked to him on the San Fran game where they thought he was loafing. Yes, they did. And it was sources from inside the Cowboys. We not knocking Mike Fisher. We already went through this because he got to get the story. But the front office surely leaked that. They did. Go ahead, OC.
I mean, didn't they say he didn't fit the system no more?
Yeah, and that. And that.
No, I'm gonna say mine. I'm gonna kick it to Law. Law, go ahead, baby.
You gonna save it?
Oh, I was just gonna say that Ezekiel Elliott played all year.
It must be good.
Yeah. I was saying that Ezekiel Elliott played all year through with the injury, with the PCL tear. Randy Gregory, he had the calf strain, and then he had a knee issue that he played with that injury all season. And news came at the latter part that Dak Prescott played with a bum, non-throwing shoulder. So those were the injury guys that played. And of course, there are more people that we don't know of. But go ahead.
Hold on. Let me address this real quick. Hold on. We got a company, man. My boy Cowboys Rio say, we can all see the film. What did your eyes tell you? Hey, listen. What my eyes told me is that a leak came from the front office on a guy that gave him a pay cut. That's what my eyes told me. Next.
So look, man, I'm gonna say something that is really concerning because of how the business dealings are. To your point, Boss Cowboy, we got to be real careful that we don't become the Dallas Mavericks of free agency, where you want to get a big star, but he don't want to sign with your team because he don't like how you roll and he don't like the environment. You see what I'm saying? It's been many a big free agent, if you follow Dallas sports, that Mark Cuban has went after that he was unable to sign because they just didn't like how he got down. And even though the money was great, they didn't want to play in that town.
Nope.
So
that's my favorite team too.
What's good? Yeah. So, the Dallas Cowboys got to be real careful and tread lightly not to develop a poor reputation, because then you're going to be forced to build through the draft and try to re-sign your own, if they will stay, that is.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Straight business.
You ain't lying about that, OC. Just bouncing off that, I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, and I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. There was a problem. I mean, when they went and got KP, that was the big signing because nobody else wanted to come to Dallas because they kept on feeling like Mark Cuban meddled too much. They felt like he was always in the business, and so they didn't want to deal with that. So that's why they were having problems. And if you looked at the Mavericks dynamic, that's why you saw them with a lot of international players. Because
facts.
Other guys didn't want to come there because of that stuff that was going on. And that's why you saw the high volume of international players there. And that's just the truth, OC, what you just said, bro. And it's just, like I said, it's kind of just, I'm not even frustrated because it's the Cowboys' way. It's almost like I'm becoming numb to it, y'all, because it's the Cowboys' way. Nothing surprises me now out of this. Nothing surprises me how they do it. But I'm just trying to figure out where does Dallas go from here? We keep on hearing about Bobby Wagner. I told y'all that was the shut-up signing. Now, all of a sudden, we got Von Miller in the fold. But like I said, I feel like the Cowboys put it out there quickly. When they feel like they dropped the ball, they'll flood that media. Oh, well, we got this coming, or we got this coming, or we may be having this. And it's to get the Cowboys fandom right back on the team because there's all that noise going on. So let's put something out there. Oh, Von Miller may be coming. Guess what that does? Takes the heat off of Dallas. Now everybody's talking about Von Miller coming to Dallas and everything's unicorns and rainbows again. No, I'm going to tell y'all right now, even if Von Miller came to Dallas, even if he comes to Dallas, I'm going to sit there looking like a Scrooge because guess what? We've had tons of talent come through
Thank
here.
you.
And guess what? It has not worked.
Hey man, look, fried rice and chicken half off only works if you show up to the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You put that Friday night special out there. You know what I'm saying? Half off fried rice and chicken. You know, hey, it don't matter unless they show up.
And we do got some. Listen, we go get to some solutions. We just kind of point out the problems because it's some people out there that we can target. We go talk about that. That's in the queue. So we go get to solutions. We just kind of pointing out the culture first. All right. So we go talk about some things they can do. But I'm getting some comments out here that's just shocking me. I'm watching y'all and I'm cool with this. I'm gonna address this. He said, can't compare Mavs to Cowboys. Y'all, listen, some of y'all just got to listen just a little bit better. Just a little bit. Obviously, he's not comparing the sport. He's comparing the culture. And he's saying you don't want to become a place to where other free agents look at you and they say, we like the Cowboys, but there's a rep out. Because the whole world, this is the best way to show it. Because see, some people, you got to put it in their face. I'm going to put it right in your face, okay?
Put it in the face.
I'm going to put it right in your face. If this don't make it make sense, I can't do nothing. Look at what John Machota said. Now, we talking about a very good journalist. We talking about one of the best, right? Now, look at this. And you got to really... This should make you really look at the culture of the Cowboys. When one of the top reporters
say this stuff, and none of these guys say this kind of stuff.
None of them say this. People weren't paying attention today, Big. The reporters were speaking a level of truth that I've never seen. I've never seen the level of truth on Twitter. It was amazing. John Machota said, now, Randy Gregory is not signing with Dallas and is now headed to Denver. Can't say I've ever seen anything like this before involving the Cowboys. Oh my God. And I said, that's the same thing Mike McCarthy said. When did we go start paying attention? When did we go start paying attention, Law? When? Like Mike McCarthy said that on Rich Eisen show. He said, I've never experienced anything like this. But there are some corporate Cowboy fans, ring kissers, that try to treat us like we tripping. Ring kissers. No, stop kissing that ring. Accept the truth. We are functioning as the corporate America Cowboys. This is no longer America's team. This is corporate America team now. This is no longer. What's your thoughts, Law?
All I can say is now, man. Look, let's do this, man. Because I'm tired of talking about Randy now.
All right, let's go.
It's over with. It's water under the bridge. It's muddy in the waters. And one thing I can tell you about old folks, mud is easier to get off once it's dry. Meaning that when this stuff all dry up, we will see what really happened. But right now, the Cowboys had a contract on the table for $70 million with $28 million guaranteed. I'm trying to figure out where I can shove that money up to someone else, just like my guy Big Game James said, a hush signing. I meant to say, let's go ahead and do a hush signing. Whether it's Von Miller, whether it's Bobby Wagner, whether it's Chandler Jones, who I believe out of all of those guys, Chandler Jones may be the better guy to sign because he's just been so consistent. He had 11 sacks last season. He's a good guy off the edge that I can see that my guy can build off of that Dan Quinn. And, of course, you got D-Law on the opposite side. Man, this thing can work its way out. Or even if they can pick up for very cheap, Jadeveon Clowney, he's another guy. I think he had 11 sacks last season. So let's go do that and go into this draft with an open free mind to draft BPA. That's why I'm looking at it. Somebody said they can't hear me. Can y'all hear me?
You sound good, Law.
Okay, let me give a positive, boss. Let me give a positive because I heard some people saying, "Can we stop? Can we hear something positive? We don't want to hear all the negative." I'm gonna give you something positive right now. But just to bounce off what Law said, yes, this is where you need to show us. Law just mentioned 5 years, $70 million, $28 million guarantee, right? So if y'all had an offer like that for Randy, you definitely can go out and get Chandler Jones or one of those guys who are older than Randy, and you were going to throw that money at him. So get up right there in free agency and already start making happen with something with it in a couple of days. And if we don't hear nothing in a couple of days, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to start feeling like the same old Cowboys. But I'm going to give you something positive. If we've been something negative, I'm going to give you something positive. You know what? I was happy as hell the Dallas Cowboys signed Malik Hooker. There's your positive.
Woo,
I was happy. That was a great signing.
Yeah.
2-year deal, Malik Hooker. Now you don't have to jump out there and reach for a safety in the draft because you feel like we ain't got no safety. Well, you got one for a couple years now who's still young. He's only, 26, 25, I think? 25? He's still young. He had a career year really across the board. He had some of his best numbers in less games with Dallas than he had with the Colts. So there's a very good positive. You don't have to jump out there in the draft and say, oh, we got to go get a safety because we don't got some. You got a free safety who's got good size. He stayed healthy. He's versatile, and he can impact that back end because you saw him really coming on at the end of the year. So there's a very good positive from me. Malik Hooker is back in the fold. To me, I know people are gonna say you smoking some good stuff, but to me, that was my favorite signing out of all of them. Not D-Law, not Michael Gallup. Malik Hooker was my favorite signing.
Hey, okay. I ain't doing no positive. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm gonna go back. I got some positive going forward, but man, listen, I don't function like that. I don't function like that. I don't put my head in the sand and say things go be okay. Hey, y'all don't need to do that. The thing that we should do is speak honest about our problems and call it out. Because if we don't, Jerry and Steven go continue to do whatever they want to. That is not the answer to winning, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing this. Let's be positive. We will be positive because it is some positive stuff to talk about. But before we do, when these people actually dropped and vomited in front of the world, we got to talk about that. Yeah, I mean, let's be positive. And I done prepared the whole presentation. Y'all finna listen to this. Y'all finna listen to this. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Y'all finna listen to Bobby Belt give y'all what happened, and then we go be positive. Let's listen to Bobby recall what happened. We go talk about it, and then we go be positive.
Today, Bobby.
Yeah, so we're obviously getting two very different narratives about what exactly happened, and I think everybody's trying to figure out okay, so who's the liar? And I don't know if it's as easy as just who lied, or is there anybody lying? I think this is a lot about perspective and damaged trust and things like that, because it's been kind of framed as this one disagreement in the 11th hour, and I think that kind of misses the entire picture of what happened here. And so I think it's important to, as I try my best here, to kind of run through the timeline in as brief but kind of as detailed a way as possible.
Listen.
And this is the timeline as I understand it, talking to people on both sides. So this isn't just, talking to the Cowboys or just talking to Randy Gregory's camp or anything like that. This is the most complete picture I could get today. And so near the end of the season, the Cowboys had begun to communicate to Randy Gregory that he's their top priority this offseason. We've talked about that, and they'd communicated to him their plans to ask DeMarcus Lawrence to take a pay cut, and that whether that worked out or not, their top concern this offseason was getting Randy done. That, they wanted to potentially use some of that money from DeMarcus Lawrence to get it done, but if that didn't work out, they were still going to try and figure out a way to make that happen. So the Cowboys then reaffirmed that commitment at the Senior Bowl in February, a couple weeks later. And little is done in the way of working towards that deal. It's just kind of a recommitment. More time begins to pass, and we get to Indianapolis for the Combine, where you remember Stephen Jones had kind of said, there's still some time for us to figure out DeMarcus Lawrence and Amari Cooper, and we had all kind of said, well, actually the clock's kind of ticking. You're getting close here. But when we get to the Combine, the Cowboys begin to intimate to a bunch of their free agents that they would like them back, but they have to get their money in order first. They have to free up their books. And they essentially tell the agents, including Randy Gregory's, to just kind of sit tight for a little while longer while they work on clearing up some space. Maybe have some general discussions about, price points and stuff like that, but nothing too detailed. So while in Indianapolis, DeMarcus Lawrence rejects the pay cut. We already talked about that. Dallas regroups for a couple days. Early last week, they tell DeMarcus Lawrence that if he doesn't accept the pay cut, they're not going to release him till into the summer. They directly said that to DeMarcus Lawrence's side. While this slow approach is going on and they're trying to figure out the Cooper stuff and the Lawrence stuff, this is starting to kind of send the wrong message to Randy Gregory's side. We're less than a week from the negotiating period, and the Cowboys haven't worked on a deal much more than just some generalities, and those generalities were kind of, hey, we'd like you to be in this salary range even though you want to be in this salary range, and it's a pretty wide gap that they were looking at. And so the Cowboys start to go on a little bit more of a hardball approach at that point, and trying to close that gap a little bit. So they turn into sort of the used car buyer. They start pointing to every scratch, every dent, and the missing maintenance record here or there, and they're trying to knock off a few bucks off the list price. And so part of this negotiating tactic, as I understand it, included kind of this repeated insinuation that Randy Gregory needed Dallas, not just as a football player, but as a person, that other teams couldn't recreate the support structure that they had here, and if he lost that structure, then he wasn't going to be able to succeed. And the Cowboys kind of have a history of trying this angle in negotiations. I mean, they did it with Ezekiel Elliott. They did it with Des Bryant. They did some of the same things. You remember Des Bryant very publicly got worked up about, some of the things that seemed to be insinuated during their negotiations.
The Des rules.
Yeah. And so Gregory's side was told that they were the priority at the end of the season, whether Lawrence took the pay cut or not, but now they're being handled kind of with kid gloves. They're being painted in negotiations as a different person than the organization was telling him he was during the season, where you're a leader and you're a priority and things like that. And with this wide gap in negotiations, they're now saying they need to work on Lawrence's number before they can get him done. And so the Cowboys let Randy Gregory and other free agents hit the open market yesterday without a firm offer on the table. We talked about some of that. And this evolved from being the top priority no matter what to essentially telling Randy Gregory, go find an offer on the market and we'll decide if we really want you back or not. And so by Monday afternoon, Randy Gregory had removed all references to the Cowboys from his social media bios. And I think he believed things were beginning to look unlikely for him coming back to Dallas. He had a few offers extended to him, and they were all more in the realm of what he had been asking the Cowboys for than what the Cowboys had actually offered. And so Dallas finally started to get serious about this. They freed up some of that money with the Lawrence deal, and they worked out most of the details into late last night, I think actually early into this morning, on a deal that was ultimately going to be less than what he had seen on the open market from some places. And so it also wasn't in the city where, honestly, and I know Wolchuk's talked about this today, it wasn't in the city where honestly his agent would like him to be, which is Denver. And that's where his agent is, and his agent feels like that's a better potential support structure for him. So I think that's where all that leading up comes up to where some of this confusion comes into play. And that's, there was this stipulation about voided guarantees in the event of a suspension or a fine related to conduct detrimental or the drug policy. And the Cowboys have that standard in all of their contracts. It is not the standard in most contracts across the NFL, though. And so I think Peter Schaefer viewed this as the Cowboys are trying to pull a fast one, and Dallas viewed it as a simple misunderstanding that they were willing to correct. They were willing to take that language out of there. And instead, I think that all this negative energy had built up, and some of the trust had been damaged in the 8 weeks leading up to this, that by the time a misunderstanding occurred, there wasn't the relationship there anymore to save it. And I think that that's potentially what happened. Now, the Cowboys, that's their side, is that they believe this was a misunderstanding. I think Peter Schaefer has been a little more direct in saying that this was something that they tried to negotiate out. And so there's maybe a little bit of a disagreement there when we talk about who's fibbing. But overall, I think what this basically came down to was, Randy Gregory didn't feel valued or respected in the last several weeks, and felt that they had changed their tone, and had changed, after they told him you're our top priority, he didn't feel like a top priority from that day after. And I think by the time all that emotional, stuff had built up, and he was feeling like Monday that, I might be done with the Cowboys here, then for a deal to get done, and essentially 20-30 minutes after that kind of relief is there, for this kind of thing to jump in, and you get the feeling like, man, now there's something else. I think it was just the straw that broke the camel's back, and you hadn't built up enough latitude with him at that point to be able to correct it.
Bobby,
that's why I didn't want to move on, bro. Because this is the thing, bro. This is the thing. A whole lot of people are corporate Cowboy fans, and that's okay. And what they view these type of shows as negative, when really you should be thankful that we enlighten you on the real dealings of your organization, and that we do it in an organized fashion. So, what this is coming down to, according to Bobby, and you got to consider the source with Bobby, you do, because he was one that was a direct leak from front office consistently. So you got to also, I'm not saying he's unethical, I'm saying consider the source, because there's a chance he could be spinning it in a positive way for front office. But I'm saying this, I knew something was wrong, and I've been said this. I'm going to say it one more time. I knew something was wrong when they tagged Schultz. I knew it. Because they was, according to Bobby, they was saying, you're going to be a leader. We're going to prioritize you. How would you feel if they saying they go prioritize you, and you look up and this guy get the tag?
Dalton Schultz. Right.
Well, I said
go ahead, OC.
I'm gonna say this real quick, man. I said this real quick, and I'm gonna say it again. This whole dialogue, listening to this interview, it just shows that these guys are contract sharks, man. They disrespected the dude. They said, you're a drug addict, you need our support. You need to stay close to rehab, right? And you're a mental head case. I'm just putting out there the innuendos, right? Because that was unspoken, but it had to be innuendos regarding that, right? All right, test yourself in the open market, and we'll get to you when we get to you. I just don't like the way they did business, because real business people and real good organizations, they re-sign you early. We didn't have to get to the Senior Bowl. They could have addressed this thing right after the season, but yet they waited because you go kiss my ring, we're elite. You're going to take our very sweet time because we're going to do it the way we want to do it, when we want to do it, how we want to do it, which you're showing in and of itself, you're contradicting yourself that the man was not a top priority. He was top priority when you had a threat that he was going to get away. The same thing with Amari Cooper. That's it.
And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Then I'm gonna be completely positive. I promise. I promise I'm gonna be so positive after this. But this is the last thing I'm gonna say. There's another secret thing that a lot of us might be missing: the daddy issues. There's a daddy issue going on right here. There's some daddy issues. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. There's some daddy issues going on. They
gonna shadow ban you, man.
They gonna shadow ban me, dog.
Hey, bro. Hey.
I would
boss,
accept it. I would accept their ban.
You're busting his head to the white meat. You're busting his head to the white meat. Boss.
Truth is busting heads? God, dog. When we start telling truth, that's called busting heads? I guess,
man,
bro.
I'm saying you're going deep. Go ahead.
Well, let me get into the daddy issues, bro, because there's some daddy issues going on, and I'm finna say it. Jerry Jones was passionate about getting this deal done and was largely responsible for it coming together. The post-agreement change was not his idea. I'm told Jerry Jones is livid. So why would they come for me? Why? When they the ones telling Patrick Walker that I'm mad. That's what they putting out there. So let me talk about the daddy issues. Law, remember me and you, me and OG Law, me and Law the other day did a marathon show. It was a 5-hour show.
Right.
The highlight of that show, I said, was Rick. Remember Rick?
Yeah.
Because Rick came in there and he said, I feel like there's some daddy issues going on with Steven. This is what that is if you really look at the details. Because according to the details, Jerry was the closer. He closed it the night before. The son the next day came in and was like, I want to do this. And it killed the whole thing. And it goes back to what I warned everybody with that Dion signing. See, they want us to be positive. You should want us to tell the truth.
He did it with Johnny Manziel and all them. He was the one that's in. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't draft that. Don't do this. He was in his ear on them other things too, big dog. Like you said, boss, it might be a fight for power now.
Yeah.
Why can't the son say I want the power? Why can't we not think that?
Because look at the history. Steven was fumbling on the Dak Prescott contracts. Who stepped in and closed it? Jerry.
And who was in the media complaining the whole time?
Steven.
Was it Jerry or was it Steven?
It was Steven. Steven to this day say, this what happened when you pay them quarterbacks.
Shade.
Okay, now I'm going to be positive. I'm positive from here on. That's enough negative. But see, bro, we got to look at the dynamics, though. I'm just being honest. You got to look at the power dynamics. Because Will McClay, Steven, and Jerry work best when they stay in their own lanes. Because Steven is good at budgeting, but stay with budgeting. When it's time to close, let the closer go close. That's Jerry. When it's time to go find the talent, let Will McClay do his thing.
He can't because he's not the president of director of player personnel. He's the vice president of player personnel. Stephen Jones is the president of director personnel. Think about that. Will McClay goes out there and makes all the moves, but Steven can veto it at any time.
At any time. And that's the breakdown in us. Okay, I'm positive now. I'm positive. Hey, I'm positive.
Well, let's keep being negative. I want to be negative now.
I like being negative right now because the negative is where the truth is. I'm going to be positive. I don't want to scare off all the people that want to. They want us to be optimists. And I'm optimistic. Listen, you can tell the truth and be optimistic.
Go ahead.
Right.
You can tell the truth and be optimistic. But here we go. Let's talk about some of the good news. We even got some film. As soon as they drop the ball, Big James gonna hate this. Big, don't get mad, dog. Big, chill, dog.
God.
Don't fight me, dog.
Here we go.
Don't fight me, dog. Don't fight me, dog.
I'll leave you alone.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead
Thank
with
you.
it, man.
Because now we on positive. Because some of the fans, they can't handle the truth. Where's that button?
I got you right here, you know.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, thank you for that button. I'm gonna be positive because some people can't handle the truth. These are daddy issues, and we refuse to say it. All right, here we go. In the wake of Randy Gregory contract implosion, the Cowboys have money to spend. The OC said that, and Big Game James, and a gap in need opposite DeMarcus Lawrence. One they're hoping Von Miller can help solve. The DeSoto, Texas native is all ears. And listen, I called one of the guys who trained him, and he confirmed it. I asked him straight up. I said, "Hey, bro, Von Miller interested?" He said, "Yeah, he interested." He said, "Yeah, all them Denver boys. You know what I'm talking about, OC."
Yeah.
Yeah, he confirmed it. I called him today. You know what I'm saying? So this is the
leverage thing, though. Is it a leverage thing, though, boss? Because you know people love putting Cowboys in their mouth only to get a little bit more money.
Nah. Now I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's not, because the guy that trained him told me this privately many times, and he mentioned Von Miller wanting to come home. Like, as a DFW guy, you know this big because you're a Fourth Ward guy. I'm a Dallas boy. I still would play for the Cowboys, as toxic as they are, because this is the team I love. This is a team that he grew up loving. You see what I'm saying? Just like Brady likely, hinted that he wanted to play with San Fran, some of these guys want to come home. So there's a chance that he could. And I think there's some real gas on this fire. Just keeping it real. And I got the film, if we want to get into it. I got the film. We can kind of go through it together, and we can handle it.
What film? You don't need no film on no damn mom. You already told me about that damn band.
Oh, I know, right? Where's the bid, big dog? You know I'm gonna give it to you. We gonna give you this bid, bro. Cause I told you we do got some good news, but we got to get through the bad before we get to the good. What's up? Let's talk
that
to
damn
this.
band.
Man, that boy still got that bend, dog.
Mm-hmm.
You and the OC, y'all tackle this so you can see the. You can see the quickness,
man.
but
I mean, I'm
go ahead.
Look, I don't even really need to watch all this, man. I've seen so much of Von Miller throughout the years.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what he's gonna do, man. This guy, tremendous get off, good change of direction, and gets up, and I believe he bats the ball down. So the thing is that when he's one-on-one, now he's playing a wide 9 technique on the hash or at the top of the screen. And so that kind of gives you a speed advantage if you're going against a slower footer guy, but they're running the game in this instant. He closes the distance, gets the sack. So he still is one of the best closers in the game, man. When he gets close to that quarterback within about 5 steps, he gets faster. He came out of Texas A&M running a 4.40, weighing 250 pounds, and in terms of that explosive burst, I know he's had injuries, but I don't really see him that much slower than when he first came into the NFL. Just to keep it a buck with you guys. The great things about him, man, as the tape kind of rolls and you see this, him in a Super Bowl, man, and him just, putting in work, man, getting pressures, man. He can go to power, right? He has so much speed, it's easy for him to go to power and get in your chest and just, and do what he got to do to you. Sorry, here he is right here. Take a look at it.
Ooh. Watch
this.
Yeah.
So because of the fact he has an arm whip. And so that and what's so great about him is that he has an arm whip, right? So he pins you with that elbow. That's what he does. So he spins so fast, and you're trying to get back in your stance, trying to block him because you're scared he's gonna run by you, and then all of a sudden he pins you. Right there, he is dipping.
Look
That's
at that
the dip.
beard.
That's the easy dip. And so
Watch.
Here's some secret sauce about Von Miller that a lot of people may not have known, okay? And I know this because I talked to one of the guys that train him, right? Here's the thing with that elite bend at the hip and go underneath the offensive lineman is that Von Miller is double jointed. He's double jointed. Oh. He's a double jointed guy. And so because he's double jointed, that's what gives him that almost supernatural dexterity in terms of how he bends and moves. So he can bend at the hip while not losing speed. And that's how he gets around the edges his whole career, beating a whole bunch of dudes for a whole bunch of sacks, man. He's one of the best to ever do it in the game, man. So that's what I see.
All right, so we positive. We positive. All right. So I gotta ask y'all a question. And
I want to ask you a question, though. I want to ask you a question,
All right,
boss,
let's go.
and Law and OC,
All right,
because Von Miller hasn't hit. Is he going to be standing up because he hasn't had his hand in the dirt for about 3 years? And he's been consistently standing up. Where do you see him playing? Is he going to be standing up the whole time? Because he hasn't put his hand in the dirt in years.
Leo.
Where do you see that dynamic happen?
I can definitely see the Leo. I can see the Leo. Go ahead, Law. You was breaking down the Leo.
Break it down.
No, I can see the Leo because the reason why I can see the Leo is because that's how we played it last year, right? Like we was putting Tank hand in the ground, but we had Randy standing up a lot. We was very hybrid in Dan Quinn's system. So I know they would have to be hybrid again, and I would like it. I really would like him coming off the right side. And I am getting some comments from people like, don't tease us. But see, this is the deal. This is what makes this different, my boy D-Block, right? Boss, why you teasing us with this BS?
Let them know.
But listen, D-Block, like this is for real. This is a little bit different because the Cowboys just got major egg on their face, and they want to repair that. You know what I'm saying? So that puts a little bit of pressure, and I believe if it's not a front that Jerry is mad, he gonna be clamoring for them to do something to fix what they messed up, similar to what they did with receiver by committee. Remember they sold receiver by committee in 2018? What was Jerry doing? He was going to the concert with Dez because he was giving them signals, y'all better fix this. And then after 7 games, they went and got Cooper. Something that they don't like to do, which is to go out and get outside free agents. So I'm not thinking this time that it's just smoke. I'm thinking they really got an answer, and I think they was really trying to help Dan Quinn. That's why if you look at Twitter, you would even see Micah Parsons tagged Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is real because they trying to help their defense. And my question to y'all, Von Miller, Chandler Jones, or Bobby Wagner, if you was going to use that money that you messed up.
I'm taking either Chandler Jones or Von Miller, either one of them two, but I'm definitely not taking them two over Bobby. I'm not taking Bobby Wagner over them two because we need an edgy guy. You can get a linebacker. There's a great draft, in my opinion, for linebacker and especially linebacker depth. There's some good guys out there. You got Cox coming back. Bro, we need that edgy guy. We need that edgy guy. Even if you would have brought Randy back, you still should draft a DN. Because don't they say you can never have too many DNs, bro? You can never have too many guys that can rush that passer. And that is huge when you can get after the quarterback. So for having an off-ball linebacker or a pass rushing specialist, I'm taking a pass rushing specialist over off-ball linebacker.
I got a comment. Jamal say, Chandler, easy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My thing is, I'm gonna tell you who my guy is. I would go with Bobby. That would be the guy that I would bring in. If there's, I'm gonna tell you why. Give me a chance, Big. Give me a chance. Let me plead my case.
No.
Let me plead my case because I think if you bring in Bobby, you have somebody that's a natural green dot guy from day one.
Right.
You got a guy that's also a better enforcer of Dan Quinn's system.
Bingo. Yep.
You also have somebody that can play linebacker so well from a full-time position that it also could make up for the loss of Randy, because then you can move Micah to more of a pass rusher, Leo. So I think he gives you the flexibility to be able to handle a bunch of dominoes from the absence of Randy Gregory. That's why I want Bobby Wagner.
But you trust in Tank. Because if you don't get a DN and you hold up, you trust in Tank. So if you only got a pass rusher on one side and you got just Tank on the left side, and you trust in Tank gonna be turning up?
No, I did say a pass rusher on the other side. I say if you get Bobby Wagner, then you can make Micah Parsons more of a full-time pass rusher. You know? So, because we kind of saying the same thing, because you saying you prioritizing pass rush, I'm saying this creates more pass rush, and it also stabilizes your middle, a run stopper, you know, and a guy who's a veteran reader of offenses that, to me, will be a fantastic mentor to Micah Parsons before he finally gets out. I mean, we not go totally agree, because I see your angle. I'm just telling you why I have my angle.
I see your angle. I definitely see your angle. But if I had a Von Miller, just like you said with Bobby Wagner, boss, I feel like Von Miller, he won a Super Bowl in Denver.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl with the Rams. So he's bringing that Super Bowl pedigree. And I also believe Von Miller is going to bring a lot of leadership if he comes in. I feel like he'll hold. The defense was accountable, I feel. But I feel like you lose a Randy Gregory, in that aspect, you're coming in with more of a leader. You feel me? It's not like you falling off, and it's Randy Gregory's what, 29, 30? Von Miller's 32, so it ain't like they too far off. Obviously, Von Miller played more games. He's got more tread on the tires. But I would love if you had any of one of them. I like Chandler Jones, but to me, Chandler Jones, you ain't been there. You ain't been there, dog, and you ain't won.
He consistent though. He consistent with his sacks.
And Von Miller ain't. And Von Miller ain't.
Ooh,
I mean,
this is
Von
a good
Miller
debate.
is too, but now I'm looking at it like what price. Price.
What leadership and what's he bringing to the table that Von Miller ain't? And he's bringing leadership and pedigree.
Chandler Jones at this point seems like he's more of a closer and a dog than Von.
He tailed off at the end of the year. Y'all remember when he turned up at the beginning of the year? He tailed off badly at the end of the year.
I didn't see that.
Von Miller got stronger.
11, okay, 11, I believe that. But I double check it, but I believe
it. Early, go check early.
Right,
not late. Early, faded at the end. Von Miller got stronger.
I can feel that. So, what's your thoughts on the OC? You ain't decided on none of it.
I'm gonna give you guys.
Man, look, man. This is how.
I got your law.
This is how I feel about it, man. I think that pass rusher is supreme. Okay, I think the sacks are supreme. Okay, I think that you go all in for a guy that can get to the quarterback. To me, I'm going with the future Hall of Famer Von Miller if it's me, because I feel like that he's seen everything. It's going to be no surprises. He showed extreme burst in those playoffs. He was extremely disruptive, and not disruptive only, he was productive. Okay, he had multiple sack games in those playoffs. So if you can get Von Miller and afford him, go ahead and get Von Miller. Now, to your point about the linebacker, I feel like that anywhere in your top 5, arguably 6, but anywhere in your top 5 linebackers in this year's draft, they will help you. They will make you better. And then you have Jabril Cox coming back, and we'll see how he looks with that ACL. So to me, you do both. You get a veteran proven guy that can rush the passer, and you go ahead and draft one of those top 5 linebackers, whichever one you can get, and you build your defense that way. That's how I see it.
Let me fight you just a little bit. Then Law, I want to hear yours.
Round one.
I'm going to fight you just a little bit, because I can't really fight too much on that, because there was some good points OC raised. This is the fight, because you yourself, OC, on draft night, this guy right here on 2021 draft night made the campaign for Micah Parsons being a full-time pass rusher. This guy right here with the yellow skin and the red seats. This guy right here, his name is the OC. This guy. And he specifically said, if you put Micah Parsons as a full-time pass rusher, you will get double-digit sacks. He was one of the first people to say it. So, OC, you getting your pass rusher big dog with my plan, but you also getting a linebacker at the same time. How you go fight that big dog? And don't you ever put Cox in the same, conversation as Wagner.
Real quick, man.
No, he's not in the same conversation, man. I never said that. Now you're putting words in my mouth, all right?
You put him in a conversation, though. He don't even belong in the conversation.
Yeah, but he's a young potential guy that you drafted, and you have not seen what he can do yet. So you have him, and he's going to get his opportunity pinning that knee. What I'm telling you is that there are 5 to 6 good linebackers that could come in, plug and play. You're not going to re-sign LVE. They can come in, plug and play him, and you got Micah Parsons, and you did both. What I'm proposing is that you do both. Bobby Wagner is a future Hall of Famer. Bobby Wagner is a value pick for a lot of organizations, but I don't believe that the Cowboys will pay for his number. I don't believe it. And if I had to pick him, a tackling machine, over rushing the passer in a pass-happy NFL, especially when we play AFC teams who all have a bunch of mega quarterbacks now, with Russell Wilson going to Denver, right? Like, dude, you got to be able to rush the quarterback, man, and that's premium, and it's always going to be premium in today's NFL. That's what I'm saying.
And you getting that with my plan. You ain't going to address it, so I'm going to go to law.
We got 3 holes on this defense, man. And one being, we still have a hole at safety because we still got to figure out, we re-signed Malik Hooker. Is he going to be the free, or he going to play down in the box? They did show him playing in the box a few times last season, but I'm quite sure that we still need to plug in that spot for J-Ron Curse being missing. So if you talk about a hole on a linebacker, we still have that, and we still have a hole on that edge. So when you mention would you sign only one, I'm looking at 2. Bobby Wagner is a necessary situation because now on 3rd down, we know for sure we can squeeze Parsons back down on the edge.
Right.
Because that's where, and then you can kick D-Law at 3 tech because we saw that, right?
Yep.
And on top of that, if you go out there and you pick between Jadeveon Clowney, Chandler Jones, or Von Miller, since Von Miller showed that he loved Dallas and he got a lot of love and adulations, if it's a situation where it's price friendly because that's how the Jones family operate, I would get Von Miller. But if Jadeveon Clowney or Chandler Jones is also price friendly, then I'm going to have to really look into it and say, okay, why not get Chandler Jones, because he's still young and he gave you 11 sacks last season. And on top of that, you're not looking for only 1 year. I would get Chandler Jones for that same type of contract that you just gave. You just gave a 5-year deal
to D-Law.
5-year deal to Randy Gregory.
Sure did.
Yeah, Randy Gregory. Why not give Chandler Jones a 3 to a 4-year deal? Let him retire as a Cowboy instead of a 1-year rental out of Von Miller. And now you can operate and move and kick and slide some of that money down the field a little bit better. And you can still have Bobby Wagner as that Mike, and on possible 3rd down situations, you can slide my guy Parsons in on that edge.
Let me push back just a little bit. We still have a big spot
at safety, though. Still, we still have a big spot at safety. See,
and I think we go feel it. I really do.
Let me push back just a little bit, because to me, whether you sign Von Miller or Chandler Jones in this example, these are both 2-year deals. These are not no 3 or 4. Even if you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, these are 2-year deals. DeMarcus Lawrence got like that's where he won, right? He got that $30 million guaranteed, but he's really operating like as a 2-year projection, right? As a 2-year projection to see what we can get out of you. So at the age of all these players, these are all 2-year deals. So there is no long-term commitment. And this would be a good sign to the fan base that we are trying to at least go all in a little bit and see where we can get in terms of our defense and go as far as we can. And so, either way you go, I think it's a 2-year deal. That's the main point I want to make.
So Von Miller will be a 2-year deal.
A
I
2-year.
think they
Yeah.
will because they're 32. Both of them are 32 years old. You know Dallas ain't gonna sign nobody over 32 for no long-term deal. It's gonna be 2. But just the thing on with the Chandler Jones, he had 5 sacks in one game. He had 10.5 sacks, but he had 5 sacks in the first game of the year. Okay, and after that, that's when it dropped down. You feel me? Von Miller had 9.5 sacks, and he went on a rage. He had 5 sacks at the end of the year. Each game, 2 sacks in one game, had 5 sacks at the end of the year, and then in the playoffs, he had 5 sacks again. Playoffs. He had 4 sacks in them playoffs, dog. I know. I ain't hating on no Chandler Jones. I'm not, because he nice. But I'm sorry. You got DeSoto. You got the Texas boy. You got somebody who said, I always wanted to come home. So to me, it means more. What I was telling you, Lo, I feel like to me, it means more. If we're going to find a guy like that, because it's going to be more to him. This is my hometown. I'm playing for the Cowboys. I got a chip at Denver. I got a chip in the Rams. Let me try to go do the Triple Crown and get a chip over here. So I'm going to go all in and try to do something ain't nobody did. You feel me? I feel like maybe he comes at that angle if you were to do it. And I'm sorry, I just keep going to that experience. You've been there. You've done that.
Right.
They just saw you in the Super Bowl. Those young players, the Micah Parsons, and those guys are going to be looking up to you. And Von Miller is that guy. If you look at him during his whole career, he is all about leadership. He is all about people playing hard and bringing it every single play. That's who I want on my team. That's who, if they're going to bring anybody, that's who I want, because I feel like he can really elevate this defense even more, not just with the ability, but with that leadership. I feel like that's going to be key on that team, because guess what? Wasn't we missing that fire and that leadership in that game against San Francisco?
Yeah, we was, big dog. Facts. Ain't nobody gonna fight you on that. Hey, check this out. This is another good one, and see, listen, I told you we was gonna be positive, bro. See, people don't understand how the final word works. See, we go always deal with problems, but all of us go always focused in on how to fix it. That's what you're looking at right now. But you gotta first talk about our problems, because none of us go be putting our head in the sand like this stuff go just disappear. But I like this one right here because it segues into something. Somebody said Dallas has still got to address the O-line and receiver. I want to pivot real quick to receiver, because we didn't talk about Cooper, we didn't talk about Gallup, and this is one thing that I know is going to happen. We know the history of our front office. We are going to get a receiver in free agency. The question is, who is it going to be? Dez brought up his leading candidate is James Washington. I looked through the free agency class and I agree with the OC. I think the best guy is Juju. If you go try to put a Band-Aid, he is not Amari, but he's a dog. He's somebody that I would get in the fat foxhole with this dude. He's a monster, right? Go look what he did to the Bengals in them rival games, knocking out linebackers. I like a dude that would go crack back a linebacker and get him out the game. Y'all remember what he did to Burks? Shoot, I take that. Now he not Amari.
I remember what he did to your boy in Cincinnati.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Burks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vontez perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Man, so listen, I agree with you, OC, because I went through the free agency class. I was looking at it. Yeah, he about the best thing left. Allen Robinson.
I'm mad we let go.
Allen Robinson,
they didn't go after DJ Sharp. Yeah. That was my guy. I like that.
Yeah, DJ Chark. Yeah, I was also low key looking at. Don't laugh, Zay Jones. Don't laugh. I was looking at Zay Jones.
Yeah.
I can't stand you, big.
His father played for the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, Zay Jones always was kind of one of my pet cats a little bit. Ever since he ate up the Senior Bowl, he ate us up too. Last year. You right. You know we searching in the trash with these free agents.
I know.
I know we not expecting nothing, but I was just saying.
Through the rummage.
So based on some of these free agents, I also could see sadly, Deshaun Jackson. I could see us signing him too at 35. What's your thoughts on?
Yeah.
I know, bro. I know. What's your thoughts on James Washington versus Juju versus Allen Robinson versus any one of those?
Allen Robinson. Don't even mention him. Dallas ain't getting no Allen Robinson. You know that.
Yeah. You don't think so?
Juju. Hell
What
no.
about Jarvis Landry? How you
going
gonna leave Jarvis out of this, man?
Yeah, I did leave out
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Wouldn't be a bad one, but he might want some bread.
Yeah.
Jarvis is a dog.
I did
Tell
leave
Jarvis,
out.
man,
He'll hit you.
And
he'll hit you too. And he got that attitude. That's what I like. He got attitude. That's what I like. But Juju is cool. I'd rather take Juju over James Washington because, like you said, boss, he's more physical. He'll get down and dirty. That's why when you just mentioned whoever mentioned Jarvis Landry, I'm sorry, I can't remember. That's why I like that because Jarvis Landry got that attitude. He got great hands too. That would be great. He's got great hands. He can run good routes. He's physical. He's physical blocking. He's physical after the run. It would really just come down with cash with me. But also, for real, I think the Cowboys might try to double dip in the draft.
Ooh, I want them to do that.
Austin,
That's really what I
Moore.
want. But I don't expect them to do that big because they always go into the draft with all their holes filled. Even if it's cheap holes. Even if it's cheap holes.
Boss. But check this out, boss. You remember you said that offense sells. What sells the tickets? What's going to bring the people into the building?
The draft.
You get two really explosive receivers. You going to tell me everybody ain't going to be going nutty?
Oh, yeah. Super nutty. And I agree with you 100%. It just wouldn't match what they've done over the last 5 years, but they could. They could. They could go in there like we gonna have to have a void and try to fill it in the draft. And in this draft, they can fill it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry deserved to play for the Cowboys right now, man.
I think so too.
I would like to see, man. I would like to see.
Why are you saying that, boss?
LSU
No, I'm
kid
feeling them.
right down the street from me.
Oh,
That's a good grunt.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would love, I would love to see Jarvis Landry, man, because he he got drafted to the Miami, went from Miami to the Cleveland Browns, man. Look, let's put some silver and blue on this, man.
Ooh, hey, you talking about a dog too, Law?
And you still go in the draft and draft a wide receiver. Of course, you don't fall asleep in his class, wide receiver,
Yeah, no, I definitely feel Jarvis Landry. OC, you've been quiet. What's your thoughts on Jarvis Landry?
But Jarvis Landry, man, is a good explosive receiver. Man, similar to me, too. He's an Odell Beckham type. And so, yeah, man, he going to make some plays for you and be explosive. I think that in the form of the Dallas Cowboys mode, although Landry will be a great pick, okay? So no shade on him at all. In light of the Dallas Cowboys mode in which you lost Amari Cooper, I think Juju is probably a better fit culturally for what the Cowboys like to do on their quote-unquote system. What I don't like is the ideal of about us just going all receiver in the draft. I'm not with that because there's too much pressure on young guys to come in here and to be productive for us to have a good offense. That's why my contention is that we get one of these free agents, just get a good one. You got the money now. Go ahead and get you a good one. Get a good free agent wide receiver, right, and draft a young, upstart, explosive type receiver in the draft. I think you should do both. So if I was the Joneses family, if I was looking at this and I was in control or not, this is what I would be trying to do to solidify the offense. Because if you do all receive in the draft, and it's just my opinion, that, man, dude, it's either boom or bust. Because if these guys not ready, you know that CeeDee Lamb will get double teamed and he gonna get his head beat in until Michael Gallup get ready to play. And that's just what it's gonna be.
And I want to kind of echo Law on Jarvis Landry, and I'm not fighting you on that, OC. But I want to echo Law. Law, me and you be on the same page when it come down to these balls, bro. Me and you be, we be. Let me tell you why I feel you on Jarvis Landry. Because they also been mentioning that they want more toughness on this team after what happened with San Fran. And that makes, Jarvis Landry an ideal fit because he's a receiver.
He don't play that.
What you mean?
No, I'm agreeing with you. Like,
he don't play that.
If you ain't coming on the field playing, dog, he gonna get in your mouth.
Right. Yeah. So that toughness that we trying to get,
that's what I like.
Yeah.
he fit.
Somebody yell on the sidelines when we losing. You feel me?
Right.
That's why I keep going back to that San Francisco game. It was quiet on the sidelines. Everybody just sitting there chilling. You know, and that's what I did love about Dez. Because if Dez was playing that game and it was a young Dez and they was playing like that and they came off the field, that dude would have been on that whole sidelines going ham. What the hell are we doing? And we remember them Cowboys back in the day, fellas. That's what we was used to. Our guys, if they weren't playing good, Michael Irvins and those guys coming on the sideline, man, going off like, I don't care what's going on over here. We need to get that passion on that team. When it gets down and the chips get down, fellas, too many times I don't see nobody from our sideline stepping up like, let's go. Let's go. Let's get this together, man. We just going to accept this. It just seems like they just accept it sometimes. And I don't know if that's just me, but it gets frustrating because I'm looking at it like, come on, y'all. Y'all been doing it all year. Now the lights is here and everybody quiet.
Yeah.
We need dog leaders. We got some dog players, but we need that leader just going to jump in there because to me, they was trying to put it as Tank, but he's not that guy for me. He's not that leader guy that we're all going to jump on your back and follow. Once again, that's why if we were to get players, y'all, if this would be a great, if we got the money, right? If you could slide a Jarvis Landry, maybe a Bobby Wagner. I know I might be talking crazy, smoking the good stuff, but if you could get Bobby Wagner and a Von Miller and a Jarvis Landry and then draft, I'll feel better because then got three leaders, three vocal leaders that are not going to accept. We're coming over here from other teams or we got released. We are not going to accept what we've seen before. We are not going to accept it. So that's what would make me happier because this is what I'm going to say. We got to have coaches and players overcome the front office to get a championship.
But to your point, Big Game James, I got a question. I got a question about your point, Big, because you bring up a marvelous point. But I have a concern about your point. And it's not that your point's not good. Your point's great. But my concern is, will the front office allow the dogs to really be dogs?
Well, that's what they've been saying, OC.
Well,
that's the reports. The reports being that we got bullied by San Fran and they looking for people to come. So it's almost like they making room for those types. To your point, OC.
Okay.
And let me explain this too, OC, before you go into this thing. We got essentially CD Lamb is going to be the number one wide receiver in this particular system. And then the next wide receiver with the next experience is Noah Brown and Simi Fehoko, who's going to play a hybrid role that we just don't know how he's going to look, you know. And when we head into this thing, if you pick up a veteran like a Jarvis Landry, then all of the shift can take, and now you got a guy that can beat the bracket coverage and it allows CeeDee Lamb to operate and run his thing so that when Michael Gallup is available and ready, we don't have to rush Gallup out there.
Right.
Because I believe that's what happened to Jarwin. They kind of rushed him out there and he got re-hurt or re-injured. So I want to take this thing as slow as possible.
Facts.
And then have somebody already with the experience level to actually handle this. Because really, I want us to go back to 12 personnel too. And by them announcing that they read up Jeremy Sprinkle, they read them up so they know that they got blocking situation that's going to be available for the Cowboys. And that's how I look at it. Just take some pressure off of Lamb. Let Lamb still work, but he's going into his third year. I don't want him to be like, okay, I got to be the end all, you know, the savior of everything. Just slowly move this thing in. And somebody asked, what about Malik Turner? He's not signed yet, right? No. And somebody asked Toby. He said, "What about Byron Pringle of the Kansas City Chiefs?" I don't know too much about him, but I know Jarvis Landry will be able to fit right on into this system.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all one more name. Don't laugh, Big, but I have a feeling you might see this guy, Sammy Watkins.
I ain't mad at that. That's a speedster.
Really?
That's a speedster.
Really?
Okay. I ain't tripping off Sammy Watkins because when they wanted to go after Sammy Watkins, I wasn't mad the first time. It's just what he was wanting money for, and I'm like, come on, Sammy Watkins, you know daggone well you ain't that guy. But bro, I wouldn't be mad at all if you got that. But I still, in my opinion, because he's younger, I know people were like, I still want that little bit of an older guy. Just what you were saying, where don't have all the pressure, even though you might be the number one CD. You can have a Jarvis Landry, one of them types that can really take the pressure off you and allow you to kind of play free. You feel me? Just like you were saying, boss, when you bought a Bobby Wagner, you got a green dot guy that allows Micah to be free. You feel me? Maybe you get a Von Miller on that front. Take some pressure off of D-Law, because if it's just D-Law rushing the passer and we ain't got another pass rusher, I'm concerned with that. You feel me? So each one of those players can take pressure off the other guys and let them maybe be more free if they were to go that route. But to OC's point, are they going to really allow them to be dogs? Even though they say it in the media, this is what they want. But when they get here, they don't allow them to do it.
Real quick, before we get into the final word. Check this. So I'm seeing y'all comments. I'm seeing a lot of no, that guy. Oh, absolutely not. No, not okay. Listen, this is the only way we can do this. We go put up the whole list. How about that? Let's look at. So y'all tell me from this list, who would you sign that's available? This is on you, chat.
AJ Green, baby. I'm playing.
Exactly. There is nobody left that you gonna be happy with completely, bro. Every one of these people gonna have a flaw of some sort. Period. So yes, we can nitpick everyone. Oh, I don't want him. I don't want him. Look what's left. I'm sorry. We got rid of Mari. We don't have Cedric Wilson. What is left?
Cole Beasley, baby. They did say that they would allow
Mohamed
Cole
Sanu
Beasley to pick a team. No, Sanu got beat out by
been
the guy.
playing. He done played for everybody.
My boy Jeremy said Odell.
Oh hell no.
Ooh. And I would feel you if it wasn't for that ACL. I would feel that one. But it's the
I'll feel it too. But
ACL in February. Now
you don't matter. Gallup got it.
Right, you got two ACL.
Dallas love signing. Dallas love signing injured players. That way they can get a discount on you.
Somebody say Cole Beasley, baby. Like, listen, the list is bad. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, y'all want us to pick something that we can't pick. Go get Randy Moss. He not available, man. That dude is not here, dog. I'm sorry, dog.
Big Tay. I see Tavon Austin, baby.
Tavon Austin. Yeah. And see, this is why I said Zay Jones. It's the class.
DJ Chark. I don't care.
He just signed.
Look,
yeah, I would have took that one.
Oh, we missed out on that one.
We did 10 million. Yeah, I see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro.
God. I said it on Twitter. We missed out on him. 6'4", and he was. Oh my God. I didn't see his numbers before. Cedric Wilson make him on the hill.
That's why I said the OC right. The best thing left, based on age, based on dog, it's Juju, bro. Keep it real. He the best thing left, bro. Period. Wow. We can dream all we want.
Go back to that chart. Go back to that chart.
Yeah.
Go back to that chart.
Don't show me that no more. Don't show me that
What's
chart
that
no
market
more.
value?
Don't
Click on
show
that
me that
market
chart no
value.
more.
Of who?
Don't show me that chart no more.
They don't have Juju.
No, they don't have
Jarvis
Juju.
Market value. Go to Jarvis market value up top. Jarvis Landry.
I think he's like 12. I think he's like at 12.
And that's why the Cowboys will do it right there, because he gonna be at 12.
I think he's at 12. Poor.
Right. It's taking a little while to load. It just takes.
No, sometimes it's slow. Everybody on it. 12 million.
Y'all got big mouth. Rushing the hell out of me, dog.
Go to the stack. Go to this right. Go way to the top. Oh, 2 year, 24 million. We got that, but go all the way to the top.
All right.
And go to click the statistics right there. Stats.
Yeah.
Right there. Bam. Let me see what we got.
Don't rush me, dog. It take a second to load, big. Ed, I gotta
Let them wait.
Let them wait. It's talking to my son.
I know it's being quiet on this one.
I'm talking to my son.
So he had a.
I'm letting y'all sort through it, man.
Let me see. Look at them drops. Well, he had a lot of drops at way back in 17.
Don't you bring up no daggone drops. Don't you bring up no daggone drops, Law.
Y'all just messing with y'all, man. 101. Yeah, he had some targets.
The thing you want to look at is the games he's playing. Is he missing a lot of games?
Nah, he ain't missing, dog. You know, he good.
That's
okay,
we,
good.
We need
good
availability.
He was durable up until last year. Durability. He was the man up until last year. Woo! It might be. I can see to where they can say Jarvis Landry fit. If we saying we trying to get
2
tougher,
years.
yeah,
2 years.
I see us doing that,
2
bro.
years.
I really do.
Happen.
Yeah, I see us doing that.
Baby nuts.
Straight up,
Make it
baby.
happen,
Yeah,
baby
nuts.
Jones.
Yep.
Get it out there.
What he got on his head, man? What is he? Do he paint him
like
his
it's
head,
hot?
Joe?
Yeah, that's some purple dye, bro. That's I don't know. You know, he one of those
You know,
new
he
age
wild.
guys.
He
new
wild.
age.
Him and Odell, they boys.
Yeah. They boys.
Okay.
They cut from the same cloth. Straight up. Yeah.
Oh, somebody said check out Allen Robinson.
Why? No, don't check him out.
He's 16 million. I already checked him out.
They're not getting him.
They could though, Big. Let me tell you why.
No, they're not.
Listen,
not.
I'm gonna tell you why, Big.
Break
you
it
gotta
down,
listen to me first, big dog.
Okay.
This is why they
Okay, but
could.
they're not
Because
doing
remember they got rid of Dez, and Sammy Watkins was gonna cost around 16 million, and that was 3 years ago. So if they can get,
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
okay, all right,
I'll give you that.
all right.
I'll give you that.
So that's why I think it's a chance. It's a small chance, and
Happening. Still ain't happening.
And this is how they would sell it, though. This is how they would sell it. Well, we needed to get a guy that's gonna actually acclimate to our system better than Amari did.
No, because they were like, no, man, you wouldn't have gave Gallup. If you didn't sign Gallup, then it would make more reasons to sign Robinson here.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, it still makes sense a little bit. I'm gonna tell you why I think it makes sense, Law.
Robinson gonna want a payday. You don't know that though.
Well,
you know he wants.
He don't really have a lot of leverage because his production, because of bad quarterbacks, was kind of. What's my button?
But but still he turned up with bad quarterbacks.
Let's stroll down a little bit more, boss. Let's see who he comparable to as far as the other players. Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett. No, go back up one bit.
Mm-hmm.
Courtland Sutton. Okay, that's what they comparing his production from. Mm-hmm. So he's right there with Robert Woods and all of those boys, huh?
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett. Okay, same age, salary wise. Okay.
They might not. They might go to the bottom barrel of the trash, like Big is saying they likely will. Or they might go to Allen Robinson to try to say, see, we got us another number one that fits our system. Not quite like Amari.
But let me say this right quick. For those who talking about Deontay Harris, he was one of my guys. But the Saints, I have to put this out there for the Saints because they crazy.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
The Saints put a tender. They put a first. I think they put a first and a second round tender on Deontay Harris. I was like, oh heck no, man. They crazy. Nobody gonna do that for him.
Yeah, man.
Nobody.
All right, so final words.
Final words.
All right. I kick it off.
Okay.
Today was epic. It left the company men with no excuses. To look at the coach of the Dallas Cowboys and see that the chickens have come home to roost on the treatment of players. I think it's obvious that we're in a new regime. I think the Stephen Jones regime is totally different than the Jerry. Stephen is more of a capitalist. He's more cutthroat. And I think he's a little bit more delusional. He thinks people don't have memories. He still think you can tell people, yeah, if you give us a discount, it's go pay for it later. And then it never gets paid for, and people don't remember that you didn't pay your debts. So it's eye-opening to see how many people in the media that was very actively speaking against front office. I've never seen it like this on Twitter. For the first time, the social media and the podcast people who are usually called the conspiracy theorists, we was able to sit back and watch them say all the stuff we've been saying for years. So I do think it's an opportunity for us to grow and learn, because this was embarrassing. And one of the best things for all of us to ever grow is when you're publicly embarrassed. So I think Steven and Jerry, based on how they handled and was too aggressive with Randy, got major egg on their face. And one thing that happen when you lose a negotiation like that, it makes you wiser going forward. So we gonna be better from this.
Most certainly.
Yeah, I'll go next, Boss Cowboy. I mean, at the end of the day, man, the Dallas Cowboys got to manage the salary cap and put together a strong roster. My contention is the Cowboys need to be very careful about making moves that directly or indirectly affect the Dallas Cowboys' ability to challenge, at least challenge for a Super Bowl right now. We still have a younger quarterback. We still have some talented pieces on defense. We still have a good wide receiver, right? Although we need him to get some help. So the Dallas Cowboys need to use this experience, and they need to try to right wrongs. And I think they will try. They need to try to right wrongs through free agency with whoever's left. Get the best players that are left. Don't discount shop on this one. You already messed up the Randy Gregory situation, and let's go ahead and be very aggressive at drafting, as we always have been. Be aggressive at drafting the best player available, but I'm going to add a little asterisk mark based upon our biggest needs. So those are my final words. Cowboys, right your wrongs, and hey, let's try to be competitive going into the 2022 season.
All right, you know we always leave it for law for the last word. This is my last word. I had 3 tweets that is in my heart. Cowboys sell hope in a bottle like a mudsucker. And the other tweet was, are the Cowboys trying to win a chip or just staying relevant? And my last tweet was, is there a sense of urgency in Dallas?
No.
Dallas is still winning off the field money-wise. Is anybody pushing the Joneses? So those are my final words. Are the Cowboys trying to really win a chip, or are they just trying to stay relevant to keep everybody still hanging on to the hope? Because there's nobody putting pressure on them Joneses. There's nobody saying you got to win or your job is gone next week or your job is gone next year. That's the thing that bothers me in all of this. There's nobody pushing the Joneses to say we got to do this now. So this is the year, in my opinion. You just lost out on Randy, right? Everybody's frustrated with it. You let Amari Cooper go for a 5th. You could have got more. So now, like OC was saying, show us that you're really about to be serious. This is the time to go after a Von Miller or a Chandler Jones or a Jarvis Landry or a Bobby Wagner. This is the time to, if you want to shut up that Cowboys noise, go hard, put your chips in. You got the money. Don't go with the bargain stuff. Go for an elite player to let us know, okay, y'all serious. And you just got 2 more compensatory picks, 5th round compensatory picks, correct? So now you have draft picks. Let's get aggressive and let's trade up a couple of those draft picks and let's maybe move up in the draft to go after somebody you want. That showed me you being aggressive because you got extra picks now. Bundle up some picks and move up. Do some wheeling and dealing. Go get an elite player. That will quiet the noise for a little bit in Dallas to let us think that you're being serious. But if you come with, oh, we went and got who, you know what I'm saying, and try to sell it to the Cowboys fans,
Muhammad Sanu,
bruh, you feel me? You go get like a Muhammad Sanu and then try to sell it that he's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread.
And he got benched. Muhammad Sanu got benched.
Y'all feel me? So that's where I want to know. Are the Cowboys really serious, or y'all just trying to stay relevant? Let me know, Cowboys.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy. Big game, James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Man, there's some good words from all 3 of you guys, man. The Cowboys right now are in 6th place as it relates to the salary cap-a-thon. There's only 6 other teams with more money than the Cowboys. Right now, the Cowboys got $27 million left to spend. And this is the thing. They can literally go out there and get any, flat out any guy that's available now on the free agent market because everything died down. The price of the player is going down as well. There's 3 positions, just like the stock. There's 3 positions in this thing. Either you can go long, go short, or stay put. And that is what the Cowboys can do right now at this point. Now, if they gamble a little bit and wait until the draft to go pick up another wide receiver to help this team out down the line after you made your draft selection, there's no problem with that. This offseason, like David Cantor said to 105.3 The Fan, the agent for DeMarcus Lawrence said this offseason is long, and he don't see the Cowboys being far apart from the LA Rams. But one thing that do separate the Rams from the Cowboys was this part right here, the offseason moves plus coaching. So regardless of this, the Cowboys got to get their head out of the sand and make something happen. We all waiting. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And just like my guy Big Game James said, look, there's time out for all of these Band-Aid hirings, time out for all of these Band-Aid selections and stuff like that. Go ahead and do the surgery. Extract the bullet out so that the body can properly heal and go in there and make something happen. We've been waiting for 26 to 27 years. That's a long time.
Man.
So it's time for us to get out of this funk and win something and prove it to the world that we are the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's my final word.
Ooh, and say, by the way, that boy Law got a new fire setup.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I'm trying to hit this button for you, big dog.
Yeah.
Y'all check out my boy setup, man. Yeah. Ooh, wait. Y'all see my boy setup new? That was the final word by the big homie, man.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to do.
All right, that's it, man. That's the final word for the day.
Yeah.
We ended positive. Ooh, so positive, everybody. We need some positive. Okay, you got some positive. God dog.
Y'all being negative. Stop being doing all that negative stuff, man. Y'all need to say something good about them Cowboys.
Shame.
Shame. Shame.
We'll say it tomorrow.
Shame.
Like you can't let they can't fumble how they fumbled on Randy Gregory and then we come in and sing Kumbaya. That's fake. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry. No, we not built like that. Sorry.
Nope.
But
we got to tell what we feel, man.
We got to. And see, this is the thing.
This is what we really want. This is what we really want, boss.
Right.
You can't handle the truth.
Ooh, bruh. And see, this is the deal. This is the facts. People was telling Law, Big, and me today, oh, y'all being positive. You know why? Because the front office looked like they was handling up. Malik Hooker, right? They took care of that. It looked like they signed Gregory. It looked like they was getting ready to sign Tank. We was all like, okay, let me go and get off baby nuts. Let me go on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then he was baby nuts again, and then we was get on his head, off with his head.
Feel me? You better make up for this. If you're being active, you got two guys you got to get. I just got a text sent to me saying the Cowboys are super active, and they said Bobby Wagner and Von Miller are definitely on the radar. So we'll see.